Alright, let's just get this out of the way real quick, because I already know what some of you are thinking. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and then you clicked on this video and went, okay, what the heck is a furry? Or maybe you thought, why is there a wolf on my screen with a podcast mic? And honestly, that reaction makes sense. Like, I get it. If you don't already know what this fandom is, this probably looks confusing at best and slightly unhinged at worst. But trust me for a second. You're in the right place. You didn't click on something weird. You clicked on something that just needs a normal explanation. Hey, what's up? I'm Nixie, and today we're talking about who furries actually are. Not the memes, not the out-of-context screenshots, not the weird headlines that always seem to pop up without explaining anything, and definitely not that one cursed image your friend sent you at, like, 2 in the morning with zero explanation and zero mercy. You know exactly the one I mean. What I actually want to talk about is the real fandom, the part that doesn't usually go viral, where it came from, what people in it actually do, and why so many people end up connecting with it in the first place. Because here's the thing, most people don't hate the furry fandom, they just don't understand it. And when you don't understand something, the internet is very good at filling in the gaps with the loudest, weirdest assumptions possible. So let's slow things down a bit. This video isn't here to shock you. It's not here to convince you of anything. It's just here to explain, calmly, normally, without turning everything into a joke. No drama, no weird stuff, no clickbait energy, just facts, stories, and honestly, vibes. By the end of this video, you don't have to love the fandom. You don't have to join it. You don't even have to agree with it. But you will understand what people actually mean when they say the word furry. So if you're curious, confused, or just here because you want a straight answer, stick around. Let's actually talk about who furries are, for real. So first things first, let's clear up the biggest misconception right away. Being a furry is not that deep. Like, genuinely, it's not some secret club. It's not a belief system. It's not something that replaces your personality. For most people, it's just an interest. The furry fandom is basically a community of people who are into anthropomorphic animals. And yeah, I know, that sounds fancy. It sounds way more complicated than it actually is. But all it really means is this: animals with human traits. That's it. Talking animals, walking on 2 legs, wearing clothes, having emotions, jobs, personalities, backstories, lore. If you stop and think about it, this kind of stuff has been around forever. It's not new, and it's definitely not exclusive to the furry fandom. You've seen this your whole life. If you grew up watching things like Disney's Robin Hood, Zootopia, Beastars, Kipo, or Agretsuko, congrats. You've been furry adjacent this whole time. Most people don't realize it, but anthropomorphic animals are everywhere in media. They always have been. They're used because they're expressive, they're relatable, they're a great way to tell human stories through a different lens. And just to be very clear about something, being a furry does not mean you think you are an animal. That's probably the most common misunderstanding. Most furries don't believe they're animals. They don't want to be animals. They're fully aware they're human. What they connect with is the characters, the art, the stories, the creativity around them. That's literally it. For some people, it's just a fun hobby. For others, it's a creative outlet. And for some, it's a community where they finally feel comfortable being themselves. No deeper meaning required. So, where did the fandom actually come from? Believe it or not, the furry fandom didn't start on Twitter, or TikTok, or any modern social media. Way back in the late 70s and early 80s, people were already making animal-focused comics and sci-fi stories. Long before hashtags and algorithms, artists, writers, and nerds, lovingly, were already obsessed with animal characters. They were drawing them, writing about them, sharing them in small circles. These people started finding each other at sci-fi and comic conventions. They'd trade zines, share artwork, talk about characters they loved, and slowly, a loose community started forming. Then, in 1980, something important happened. At a sci-fi convention, there was a discussion about animal characters in science fiction, and someone basically realized, wait, there are a lot of us. That moment mattered, because suddenly people understood they weren't alone. And then the internet happened, which honestly changed everything. Forums, chat rooms, mucks, early art sites. Suddenly, furries didn't have to wait for conventions to meet each other. They didn't need to travel. They didn't need to know someone locally. They could just log in and find people who like the same stuff. No travel, no conventions required. Just people finding people. And yeah, once the internet got involved, it was kinda over. In the best way. Because the community finally had a home. A place to grow. A place to create. A place to connect. So, what do furries actually do? This is where a lot of people get it wrong. There is no single way to be a furry. Like, at all. There's no checklist, no requirements, no right way to participate. Most of the fandom revolves around creative stuff, art and content. And art? Art is huge. Like, massive. Furries draw characters. They design fursonas. They make comics, animations, music, games, memes. If it exists as a creative medium, there's probably a furry absolutely killing it in that space. And that's not even an exaggeration. A ton of people working in animation, games, and tech today literally started out drawing furry art on the internet. No joke. Fandom spaces are where many people learn to draw, to animate, to code, to tell stories. Furries are kinda cracked at creativity, and it shows. Which brings us to Fursonas. Almost every furry has something called a fursona. A fursona is an anthropomorphic animal character that represents you, not literally, but creatively. It might reflect your personality, your interests, your vibe, or just a version of yourself you enjoy expressing. And this is important. There's no single way to do fursonas either. Some people have one fursona their entire life. Others change over time. Some people redesign them constantly. Some people have multiple. Both are totally normal. There's no rule book. And just to clear this up again, having a fursona doesn't mean you think you're literally an animal. It's closer to an avatar. Or a creative identity. Think of it like a username with a personality attached. Alright, let's talk about the suits. Because this is usually what people notice first. Fursuits are custom-made costumes that bring these characters to life. They're handmade, they're detailed, they're wearable art, and they come in all kinds of styles. Some are simple mascot-style suits. Others are incredibly detailed professional builds with moving jaws and animatronics. Some cost a few $100s. Some cost several thousand. They take time. They take effort. And they're completely optional. And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. The majority of furries do not own a fursuit. Seriously, most don't. They're expensive, time-consuming to make, and not required at all. Some people just wear ears or a tail. Some just draw. Some just hang out online. And all of that counts. Now let's talk about conventions. Conventions are where the fandom becomes really visible. They're basically large community gatherings. Furry conventions are art shows, meetups, panels, dance competitions, game rooms, charity events, and yeah, A lot of hugs. Some of these conventions are massive. Big ones like Anthrocon or Midwest Fur Fest pull in thousands of people, and they raise serious money for charity, which doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Despite what some TV shows tried to say back in the day, conventions are mostly just people hanging out, drawing, meeting friends, and having a good time. Now, let's be real for a second. The furry fandom has been clowned on a lot, especially in early media coverage. A lot of it went straight for shock value, focusing on adult stuff, ignoring everything else. And yeah, like any big fandom, there are adult spaces. That's true, but that's not what most people are here for. Surveys consistently show that most furries are here for art, friendship, community, and feeling like they belong somewhere. Stuff like bestiality? Hard no. That's taboo, and not welcome in the fandom. The community is very clear about that. The internet just loves taking the weirdest 1% and acting like that's everyone. So yeah, that's who furries are. Just people with art, characters, creativity, and a lot of passion. If this video cleared things up, hit subscribe. Next up, we'll talk about how to become a furry, Fursonas, conventions, and more. Thanks for hanging out. Stay fluffy.